It was a lot more people, and it's also LA it's vast. It just stretches out forever. It's not one big, like New York is an island, and you have just one collection of this is where everything is. LA just stretches off in every direction.
Right.
The traffic is really bad. But
that's what I hear.
You spend most of your time in the car sitting. You're not driving around very much. You're just sitting in traffic. And also, everything out there is centered around the entertainment industry. The evening news is always about the movie star scandals, and they don't really. There's no distinction between Hollywood and real life. It's very plastic and very artificial out there. It's a beautiful place. The weather is gorgeous, and it is. If you're a film lover, that's where to go, because you can be a part of it. You can see all these great films and see where they were made and rub shoulders with the stars and stuff. But it is a very vast, and it can be overwhelming at times. But,
I'm sure.
I recommend short visits.
Yeah, I've been to San Diego, I've been to Northern California. I spent a little time in LA, but nothing meaningful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I hear the traffic is pretty bad out there.
And mudslides and earthquakes are always in the back of your mind.
Well, here we have torrential rain and tornadoes in the back of our minds. But, and then, so as far as movies go and hobnobbing with different people, did you ever meet one of your favorite celebrities out there, or somebody who you'd always wanted to meet?
Well, it was odd. I found myself, just by circumstance, through the projects I worked on, I actually did meet some of my idols, but randomly. The first film I worked on, well, not the first film, but the first big film I worked on was Big Fish, and I got to meet Tim Burton, and then there were several other actors that were in that film. Ewan McGregor was in that. Albert Finney, Jessica Lange. So I didn't develop personal relationships with them, but I got to meet them, and I chit-chatted with them occasionally, and so that was really interesting.
Right.
And then when I moved out there, I worked on The Aviator, which was the Martin Scorsese film. So I got to watch him work, and I got to meet Leonardo DiCaprio. I worked on a film with Billy Bob Thornton, and I went to a cast party for The Aviator and met Quentin Tarantino. And again, these are all just sort of like fleeting moments where it was like I was introduced to them or something like that. But it was. But the cool thing about it was it put them in a real person context. Like I used to look at them as these amazing, and they are amazing artists. But it made me realize these are just normal people, and they were before Tim Burton became Tim Burton. He was still a very talented guy, but he was just an ordinary guy, and it gave me hope. Maybe I can, I'm just an ordinary guy too, and if I get the right breaks, maybe I could, be not on their level, but at least be a part of that community.
Exactly. That's what it's about, being in the game.
Trying to, you're drawn by your passion to these worlds, and there are people that are in these worlds already, and it's like you just want to find a way to get into that world, and so.
Exactly. Is there a film that you would have really liked to have worked on that's come out in the last 10 years? I know that's a random question.
Well, I have another one of those random coincidence stories. I was working on a film, I was doing pre-production on a movie called Deja Vu, which is the Denzel Washington time travel movie.
Right.
That movie got shut down because of Katrina, and I was in New Orleans for like a week before it got shut down, and I didn't go, when they went back to refilm it, I didn't go back. I moved on to another job. But in LA, we were doing pre-production on that film, and the offices above us were being occupied by Christopher Nolan and
really?
the Prestige. He was making the Prestige at the time.